Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th, with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.
From St. Louis Public Radio. This is St. Louis on the Air.
It's a little butter cookie sandwiched with dulce de leche, and it was so tender and crumbly and fresh and so delicious. It comes with all these different delicious sauces and these insane thick French fries that he was making at the time. And we went crazy for it at the office, and he that year was named a Ones to Watch. Everything I thought was like the quality was so good that you could tell that the ingredients, they're investing a lot in it.
I'm Sarah Fensky. As COVID cases continue to drop throughout the metro, you may be ready to get out and dine out again, and maybe try something new this time. Sauce Magazine has a list of 3 recommended new restaurants this month, and here to tell us about them is Meera Nagarajan. She is the executive editor of Sauce Magazine. Meera, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
So, Meera, this weather up until the last, 48 hours has been pretty bad for the restaurant industry. Do you feel like there's maybe brighter days ahead this weekend? People are going to go eat out again?
I think so. And, Valentine's Day is coming up and the Super Bowl is coming up. So lots of reasons to get out of the house. And it's nicer weather, so it's definitely not as cold. So I definitely think, we'll see more people out and about.
So this is going to be the weekend. You have 3 new picks, and I feel like each of these is for someone looking for something completely different. Right. Let's start with Grand Spirits Bottle Company. Who's the target customer for this one?
I think if you're out looking for a nice bottle of wine, or if you're really interested in mezcal especially, this is a great place to go visit. They're at 3194 South Grand, and the bottle shop focuses on low intervention wine. So wines that are, the owner, Michael Fricker, he was at Cinder House previously. He was at the Gin Room before this. And then during the pandemic had this idea to open a bottle shop. And he wanted to do low intervention wines that didn't use herbicides, pesticides, wines that were organic or biodynamic, focused on agriculture, just like, kind of cleaner wines, no preservatives. And so he has I would say he has about 120 different bottles right now, which is growing. And he lived in Oaxaca for a period of time and really loves mezcal. So he's kind of growing his mezcal collection and other agave spirits as well.
And so would you have a cocktail with mezcal in it, or more just you're going to sip the mezcal neat?
I would sip mezcal neat. I'm not much of a cocktail maker. And right now they're a bottle shop, and they have you can taste things. So if you're interested in trying something, I'm sure they'll be pretty open to letting you try a couple of different mezcals. And they're going to open up a tasting room in the back of the bottle shop, I think this summer. But at least for now, if you're curious, there are a lot of options that they'd be willing to let you try.
Okay, so that is Grand Spirits Bottle Company.
Yes.
No. Yes. I have written my notes in a confusing way. They are off Grand Boulevard right here in the city. Now, we also have, this is very exciting, South America Bakery and Cafe. This is in O'Fallon. What's going on here?
Yeah, so I thought this place was super cool. Luigi and his wife, Catherine, they're the Guzmans. They opened up this tiny cafe in O'Fallon. They have a small number of pastries that they make every day, and baked and fried empanadas. And Luigi attended culinary school in Peru, and he's traveled all throughout South America, and he's an experienced pastry chef. On the savory side, we tried their a couple of baked empanadas. Their pulled pork had olives and hard-boiled egg in it. Their vegetarian one, which I really loved, had broccoli and cauliflower and Peruvian pepper. And I thought those were great. I like buying, empanadas because they're a couple of bucks. You get a bunch of different varieties, so you can try everything if you want. And then on the pastry side, on the sweet side, I tried their croissant with Nutella inside, and the dough was laminated so beautifully. I was totally impressed. I thought it was really wonderful. But my favorite thing there was the alfajores, which is it's a little butter cookie sandwiched with dulce de leche. And it was so tender and crumbly and fresh and so delicious. And I talked to Catherine, and she was saying that when they were operating at the farmers market, I think they operated at a couple different farmers markets, and she said that was their most popular dessert. And so it really was no surprise to her that people have been really loving it.
So that is South America Bakery and Cafe in O'Fallon. Is this a place where you can sit and linger? You don't have to get these things to go.
No, you don't have to get it to go. They have like a substantial dining area. But when I went, I just got a bunch of stuff to go, and it traveled really well. So you take your pick.
That's great. Well, so we were in the suburbs for that one there in O'Fallon. Now let's go to St. Charles. This is actually really exciting news. This new place, Halea, they were the lead in a recent New York Times story. So they're just open. What did they do to earn that kind of national press?
Well, that particular story was featuring restaurants that are opening in the suburbs, and many of them were presenting cuisines that were unique to that area. So they also featured Balkan Treat Box and a Noto Italian restaurant out in St. Peter's. But Halea is really it's a really interesting restaurant. The owner and chef is Andrew Cisneros. He used to be at a number of fine dining restaurants that you've definitely heard of. I know Gerard Kraft's Dia's Room at Cinder House, Mike Randolph's Pravado, Ben Paremba's Elia. So he has a ton of fine dining experience. He was also at the Copper Pig and at Original J's Tex-Mex. Was another one of Mike Randolph's restaurants. And when he was at Original J's, he started experimenting with pollo a la brasas, which is a Peruvian roasted chicken dish that comes with all these different delicious sauces and these insane thick French fries that he was making at the time. And we went crazy for it at the office, and he that year was named a Ones to Watch. That was in 2021. And so during the pandemic, as you know, so many restaurants have closed. And so we're talking about the suburbs where a lot of immigrant businesses and minority businesses were systematically kept out, prior to the civil rights movement. And after that, a lot of legislation has passed to open up opportunity for minority businesses. But during the pandemic, so many closed. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing like more and more people moving to the suburbs because there's just opportunities there and less competition there for them. So when I went, I tried, and it's a family operation. His sister is the GM, I think, and it's just like, and her husband is also working there. So it's a family operation. And they have soccer playing on the TVs. And because of his fine dining background, Andrew's fine dining background, the dishes are just so beautifully done.
So this is like a special occasion kind of place?
It's special occasion-ish, but I mean, if it's Peruvian food, so I mean, we don't have a ton of Peruvian restaurants in St. Louis, so if that's what you're looking for. I mean, if you love ceviche, I tried their ceviche. It was this grouper ceviche with sweet potato and Fresno chilies and red onion. It's just like so artfully presented and thoughtfully presented. And I tried their crab causa, which was this whipped potato base and this crab salad on top with these dollops of smoked roe. So it was just so many textures and colors, and the fish that I had there was so fresh. The crab was super sweet. The grouper was really fresh. And I tried their plantain crepes for dessert, which had this like banana dulce de leche inside. It was everything I thought was like the quality was so good that you could tell that the ingredients, they're investing a lot in it because everything tasted really wonderful.
Well, this is so exciting. I mean, if you haven't had Peruvian food, I just want to impress upon you that Peruvian food is just the bomb. It is so good. And so to have a place that's executing it really well in town, this feels huge for St. Louis.
Definitely.
Huge for St. Charles, even more so.
Yeah, and I think it's a great restaurant. It's like a really cute small spot, and I love that they're bringing some diversity to that area and offering something new. It's a win-win for both.
So that is Jalea. That's spelled with a J, Jalea. If you're looking for more information on that, that's there in St. Charles. And again, we have all of these on our website, stlonair.show. You can find the roundup with all 3 restaurant names and addresses. What great ideas of places to eat. Meera, in our final minute here, we have some big news on the Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme front. We talked about this exciting trend when you were here last month that people are recreating this iconic dish with fresh ingredients. I understand that one of the pop-ups that have been doing this dish, they are getting an actual brick and mortar restaurant.
Yeah, 1207 is opening. They think in April at 6138 Del Mar in the Loop. And we couldn't be more excited because I think it's been a long time coming, and they've really built up a great audience with their pop-ups, and now I feel like they're just gonna grow from here, and it's gonna be a great addition to the Loop.
So you've had to go to Retreat Gastropub on Tuesdays in order to get that version of the Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. Hey, now, once they get open this spring, you can just go to the Loop, get this any night of the week. And then other news here real quick. Clara Bee's, this is this beloved food truck. They're going to be opening a brick and mortar place in downtown Belleville. I understand that both Clara Bee's and 1207, these are both owned by Black women.
Yeah. I was so excited to see that she was opening up a restaurant in Belleville. And she was one of our best new restaurants, her food truck. And I think it's great. I feel like we need this for this area. And I'm so happy and proud of our 1207 folks and for Jodie Foster of Clara Bee's.
So 1207, that's coming to the Del Mar Loop this spring. And then Clara Bee's, was a food truck, is going to be a brick and mortar place in downtown Belleville, and that'll be happening in February. So much good news. This is going to be a great weekend weather-wise, Valentine's-wise, to get out and experience it. Meera Nagarajan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And Meera is the executive editor of Sauce Magazine. This episode was produced by Kayla Drake with audio engineering and podcast design by Aaron Dorr. Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations. And leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thanks.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th, with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.